The people have spoken. The people have spoken. What the? And let me see what the Great White Hope have to say this morning as a result of the people speaking last night. Let me check.
We are going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
Amazing. That's deep. The people have spoken, and the Great White Hope has risen. He has risen from the dead. He's alive. He's alive. Wannabe Republican Haley, what a mess. That female only Super Tuesday win so far is Vermont. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, she's supposed to, at 10 o'clock this morning, I guess that's Eastern time, she's supposed to announce that she is ending her quote-unquote campaign. You think? I could be wrong, but I think that Nikki Haley, I could be wrong, would love to see Donald Trump lose the election, even if it is to the Democrat. I get the feeling she doesn't like him. What a mess. Because in all honesty, she should have ended her little so-called campaign a long time ago and gone back home and become a wife and a mother. But her ego thrills are more important than her husband's and his family. And once again, I want to urge you to have a wait and see. When it's time to vote, vote again, but have a wait and see. Have a wait and see. And to Nikki Haley, I say to you, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. And don't you come back no more. Goodbye, Nikki Haley. This is the same female that took down the Confederate flag, trying to appease people so she can look good. This is the same female that said racism doesn't exist, or it does. Why would we want that in our government? We have enough of that, believe me, more than enough. So goodbye, Nikki. I wish you well, though. I'm not angry at you. I'm just saying goodbye. According to Breitbart, Trump has now delivered one of the greatest political... Listen to this. Smoke on it. And now do you see why I call him the Great White Hope? And people are like, why you call him the Great White Hope? The Christians like, you making him a god. You worship him. And the sinners like, you worshiping him. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you he's the Great White Hope. Breitbart reported Trump has now delivered one of the greatest political comeback. Listen to this. Trump has delivered one of the greatest political comebacks in the history of mankind. Not just in the last 20 years or 50 years or 30 years or 1,000 years, but in the history of mankind. Smoke on that one. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you challenge it or not, there is a difference between men and women. And I know a lot of men have not overcome, their mother, so they have her mindset, her emotions. They think and act like a woman. They feel like when they do exactly what women do, But once they overcome it, you see the difference. And in good old days, the difference stood out. Even that liberal far left Sotomayor recognized it. She recognized it when she sees it. And she's like, what the? This is from CNN. I've said over and over again that men are the light of the world, the salt of the earth. Now the light may be gone dim because they have been turned away from the fathers. And so the light might be dim. And it is if you've been turned away, not might be. If you've been turned away from your father, the light is out. And the salt has no flavor. But once you return back to the Father, the light comes back on, and the salt regroups its flavor. So even Sonia recognizes a real man when she sees one. And she's like, what the? Sonia Sotomayor appeared before a liberal audience in Washington and discussed her relationship with Justice Clarence Thomas. Watch this from C-SPAN.
Justice Thomas is the one justice in the building that literally knows every employee's name. He's the first one who will go up to someone when you're walking with him and say, is your son okay? How's your daughter doing in college? He's the first one that when my stepfather died, sent me flowers in Florida. He is a man who cares deeply about the court as an institution, about the people who work there, but about people. He has a different vision than I do about how to help people and about their responsibilities to help themselves. I've often said to people, Justice Thomas believes that every person can pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I believe that some people can't get to their bootstraps without help. They need someone to help them lift their foot up so they can reach those bootstraps. That's a very different philosophy of life.
That's the difference between daddy and mama. Daddy believes that you can do it on your own, and it's best. Mama believes that mama got to help you, which keeps you down, really, and it keeps you relying on someone else helping you. That's the difference between daddy and mama. And that's why daddies have to stand between their children and the mama so that the mama don't destroy them by feeling sorry for them. You need a hand up. And then the kids grow up to be 50, 60, 70 years old. Mama still got to help them up. Down in Florida, they're telling the people the party is over. The party is over, they're telling the folks. WFLA.com and NY Post, New York Post, right? Just as Florida is preparing for spring breakers, the city of Miami Beach said they're done with spring break. Police Chief Wayne Jones said this year tourists can expect a large police presence than ever seen before. Watch this from today.
Spring break crowds in Miami Beach are starting to swell.
Why Miami Beach?
It's the best place to go for spring break.
But one thing's already clear. Those flocking to South Beach for some fun in the sun are aware that the rules are going to be very different this year.
If you plan on coming to Miami Beach for spring break, don't do it. All of the streets are blocked down here. Do not come down here.
All of it coming after violence and bad behavior marred the last few years. Police trying to monitor seas of out-of-control partiers on Ocean Drive. And gunshots that have prompted stampedes and claimed lives.
I guarantee you, if they kept the blacks away from the spring break, you wouldn't have any of that. If it was just all white kids down there, spring breaking, it would just be fun and drinking and having fun. It wouldn't be all that. They wouldn't have to stop it. Why don't you love the blacks enough to say, hey, drop your anger, forgive your mothers, return to your fathers, stop blaming the white man. The white man or slavery had nothing to do with it. They want the blacks acting this way, all South Africa and everywhere. This is not normal. And black people, your leaders, which you should not have anyway, they don't care about you. They don't love you. It's about using you. They want you acting this way. It gets money and perceived power for them. I guarantee you, if you took control of your own life, you wouldn't do these things. Because you'll look out for you. Some of you may remember this story where they tried to cry racism again, right? This was from March 1. This is the story I was confused with. March 1, 2016. New York Times. The allegations set social media ablaze. 3 black students at University of Albany have been attacked on a city bus by a group of white men who use racial slurs. Watch this from GMA.
This morning, 3 college students under fire for what's seen in the surveillance video.
Hi, yes, I'd like to report the fact that me and my friends were just jumped on a bus for being black.
Just after 1 a.m. on January 30th, Ariella Gudio, Alexis Briggs, and Aisha Burwell, all 20-year-old college students at the University at Albany, claiming they were the only black students on a city bus when they were called racial slurs and hit by several white males. They say they were surrounded by students and felt threatened. They fought back. 2 of the girls called 911.
It was a racially fueled crime. We were 3 black girls jumped by like 20 white people.
University staff and students immediately rallying behind the girls. But within hours of that rally, an Instagram video posted online showing what looks like the girls approaching the men first. The university and city immediately launching an investigation.
I ask all of us to not rush to judgment.
Leading to the release of this surveillance video from inside the bus that night, witnesses on board telling police it wasn't the men, but the women who were the aggressors. But the girls maintain they are the victims. Civil rights activists now concerned about what this case could mean for future racial crimes.
When there's another incident or a similar incident, will the community believe this? And that is very troubling for many people.
Amazing. It's all about perceived power and money. It's not about any of that. And they'll just lie, according to the report. I mentioned the Six Flags Over Georgia incident that recently happened. 11alive.com. 11alive.com. The opening of the Six Flags Over Georgia was marked by chaotic scenes involving fights and a security clear-out that ended with a 15-year-old shot by an officer nearby. Watch this on Fox.
It was chaos and panic on opening day at Six Flags Over Georgia after officials say 500 to 600 people ran through the park fighting. This all led to an exchange of gunfire right outside of the property that sent at least 1 person to the hospital.
Videos of the incident have been circulating online. They show a herd of park goers stampeding out of the park property, just trying to get to safety at the sound of those gunshots. But they say that the culprits seem to be underage kids. In a statement from a spokesperson, they said, quote, "Our goal is to provide safe, fun entertainment. It is incredibly disappointing that our community is disrupted at public events throughout the region by groups of underage youth."
Crazy that a group of kids could cause all this. It was a real big group of kids. I've never seen a group of kids like that outside of a high school. Parents need to just control the kids better, probably.
Well, America, I must report to you that fun and games are over now. You're not going to be able to go to the Six Flags Over Georgia or anywhere now and have fun. These black kids have been given permission, a pink slip, to run wild, run crazy, act out, attack, and do whatever they want. You're not safe anymore at these events. If you thought that was bad, and it was, and it is, authorities look for a woman accused of stomping on two people in front of her crying child at an Omaha gas station. Watch this from X.
Those are along the wall. She's there for a while, and there's some sort of disagreement about buying the charger.
I'll pay for it. That's cool. But if it doesn't work in my car, can I return it?
There's a mix-up, and she starts getting upset.
Nah, I just feel like I'm being discriminated because I think I don't know what I'm saying, and this is not.
Then she says some profanities, which upsets a couple of the customers. The yelling begins, and so does the little girl's crying. And then things get physical. After hitting a woman 2 more times, she turns on the other one.
You want to get smacked too? You want to get smacked too?
After getting the child in the car, she comes back, and it gets real ugly.
Oh no, here she comes again. What? Ma'am. What'd you say? Ma'am. What'd you say? Ma'am. What'd you say? What? Ma'am. What'd you say? Ma'am. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Why he didn't go and grab her or something? Call the police. She just picked up something and hit the woman up here in the head or somewhere. The black attitude is nasty and vicious and evil. And don't think they're just doing it to the white people. They're doing it to each other too, because that's how evil operates. It's inside the person, so it'll turn on anyone that is near it, even their own children. She doesn't care about the camera being there. And those white people didn't even bother to fight back to protect themselves. And it just brought out the worst in her. She went out, put the kid in the car, and came back with some more because they were afraid. The whites were afraid. That was evil. That was nasty. And that's the attitude of most black people. But they've been allowed to get away with it. Why don't you stand up before it's too late? By working on yourself. See that you have the anger. Go forgive your mother. Don't ask for forgiveness. Forgive her and God will forgive you. And your father for not protecting you from your mother. He can't help it. Fathers love their children, and when they lead the mothers. They do not lead the children. Let me show you hell and damnation. This is going to make you tremble in your boots. Because you know it's nothing but darkness. You know it's evil. You know it's pure hell. NewYorkCourts.gov. Justice, quote unquote, Diane Renwick announced that on February 14, oral arguments before the appellate division First Department were held for the first time by an all African American bench. Watch this from New York State Bar Association. Watch this one.
Really, history was made yesterday at the appellate division, First Department, when we had an all African American bench preside over oral arguments for the first time in the history of the court. And what was even more special is that you had 5 black women.
Today's oral argument will be heard by the first all-black bench in this court's 130-year history, and we all happen to be women.
You know, I have to say that it was legendary. And even the attorneys who appeared before us indicated how they were honored to come before the panel.
Beta. you're looking right into hell. These are the same type of female that raised the children that are out there fighting right now and breaking in and snatching and grabbing and robbing and beating up white people. They came from those kind of mothers. And could you imagine had it been an all-white female court? Would they be bragging about it? They could get away with it. They're black. And the stupid white men, if it's true, they say, oh, we feel so honored. What, you feeling honored about being in hell? That's where you are. Can you imagine walking into a court and seeing a panel of demons? I'll be like, take me to jail. I don't need no trial. I'm already in jail facing these evil females. You know what? Handcuff me. Tie me to a tree. Handcuff me. This is hell. If ever we needed men in our country, we need it now. As it used to be in the good old days when boys were boys and men were men. We need all real men in charge. It ain't going to work. Nothing going to work but that. Watch this from Breitbart.com. Donald Trump promised to use his second term to defend Christian values. Watch this from Forbes.
And I really believe it's the biggest thing missing from this country. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country. But Americans of faith are not a threat to our country. Americans of faith are the soul of our country. They are. They're the soul of our country. You're going to say as you want, and you're going to believe, and you're going to believe in God. You're going to believe in God because God is here and God is watching. God is watching. And God probably can't believe what he's seeing. I will also take historic action to defeat the toxic poison of gender ideology and restore the timeless truth that God created two genders, male and female. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Amazing. Old school. That's what we need. So, return to your natural state by forgiving your mother and return to your fathers.